Hey Lakers fans, welcome back. Today we're diving into the latest updates about LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. And trust me, there's a lot to unpack. So, buckle up and let's get into it. Right now, LeBron is in a situation that's raising some eyebrows. And while I've been one of his biggest defenders, it's impossible to ignore what's happening on the court. After missing essentially the first 2 months of the season, no preseason, no training camp, no regular season games for the first 14 matchups, LeBron has been thrust back into action, and it's clear that he's not quite in his usual rhythm. His body hasn't caught up yet, and the numbers show it. But let's be clear, this is not the same LeBron from 6 months ago who was in the conversation for MVP and playing at the top of his game. This is a LeBron who has been trying to find his groove, coming off a long layoff, adjusting to new teammates, and navigating the realities of being 41 years old in year 23 of his career. Now, let's talk about what we're actually seeing. LeBron has played 6 games since returning, and the truth is, he hasn't looked fully himself. There's a visible lack of lift in his jumps, a hesitancy in his movements, and a sense that he's still feeling out his legs. It's understandable, given the circumstances. Missing all that preparation time isn't something you just shake off overnight. To put it into perspective, last year he had a similar situation where he played roughly 40 games, missed a month, and then needed 5 or 6 games to really get back to being the player we all know. That included a proper off-season, training camp, preseason, and the rhythm of regular season games leading into it. This time, though, he has none of that, so expecting him to immediately return to elite form is unrealistic. The key here is patience. There's a learning curve, and it's something I've been emphasizing. We need to see him through at least 10 to 15 games before making any judgments about decline or performance issues. Right now, it's too early to panic. Another factor that often gets overlooked is how LeBron is choosing to integrate with the team rather than dominate it. In a lineup where Austin Reeves is playing at an MVP caliber level and young stars are stepping up, LeBron's role has shifted. He's not forcing shots or trying to take over games. He's working within the system and letting the younger players handle the heavy lifting. That's smart basketball for a 41-year-old superstar in his 23rd season. Yet, some critics see it as a lack of impact or concern, but that couldn't be further from the truth. LeBron has the maturity and understanding to know when to exert himself and when to conserve energy while still contributing strategically. The problem is that fans and commentators sometimes expect the old LeBron to show up immediately, without considering the physical and situational adjustments he has to make. Even with this approach, there have been moments that are more concerning than just his physical readiness. His body language in recent games has been notably different. He hasn't displayed the same engagement or intensity that fans have come to expect. There are sequences where he seems disengaged, letting plays unfold without fully participating, which stands in contrast to his historically vocal, motivating presence on the floor. For example, there were moments during recent matchups where Austin Reeves had an advantageous situation, but LeBron wasn't fully involved in the defensive rotation. He wasn't ignoring the game entirely, but his positioning and reactions suggested a detachment that is unusual for him. That's where the real concern comes in. Not in missed shots or minor scoring slumps, but in how invested he appears in critical moments. It's one thing to take your time to get back into rhythm, but it's another to look disconnected while the team is scrambling. To be fair, there could be many reasons behind this. Perhaps he's adjusting mentally to a new team dynamic. Maybe he's feeling the cumulative effects of age and wear on his body, or it could even be a subtle way of managing expectations and energy throughout the season. There's no way to know for sure unless we could sit down and ask him directly, but it's hard to ignore the optics. When a player of his caliber seems less engaged, it naturally raises questions about motivation, focus, and commitment. And while it's easy to jump to conclusions about decline, it's important to remember LeBron's career-long track record of resilience and adaptation. He has come back from injuries, adjusted his game as he aged, and consistently maintained elite performance levels. Yet this season is different. It's a convergence of age, missed preparation, and the need to mesh with a team that has evolved in his absence. The critical takeaway here is that LeBron's current form is a complex mix of physical limitations, mental adjustment, and strategic team integration. He could easily dominate and chase personal accolades, but he's not. There's no incentive for him to chase stats or records this year, which is both a blessing and a challenge for the Lakers. It allows him to play within the team framework and conserve his body, but it also introduces moments where fans notice what appears to be a lack of intensity. We've seen LeBron make selfless plays throughout his career, opting to pass or defer in critical situations, which aligns with his leadership style and commitment to team success. However, these decisions sometimes get misinterpreted as disinterest or fatigue when the reality is much more nuanced. Looking ahead, there are several scenarios that could play out. With time, he could regain his rhythm, reestablish his scoring and defensive impact, and continue to be a foundational force for the Lakers. On the other hand, if the detachment or perceived lack of effort continues, it might prompt larger questions about his role, satisfaction, and future with the franchise. Given LeBron's no-trade clause, any potential changes would have to involve careful negotiations and mutual agreement, but the mere speculation highlights the importance of monitoring his engagement closely. The narrative around LeBron this season is evolving, and it's not just about points, rebounds, or assists. It's about leadership, presence, and the subtle ways he influences the game. Ultimately, the conversation surrounding LeBron isn't just about his numbers or missed records. It's about understanding the layers of this stage of his career: missed preparation, advanced age, team dynamics, and his deliberate approach to playing smart basketball. While there are moments that raise eyebrows, it's crucial to approach them with nuance and context. The early games of the season are a snapshot, not the full picture, and judging a player of his stature requires patience, awareness of circumstances, and recognition of the long-term patterns he has consistently demonstrated. LeBron's journey this season is a delicate balance between managing his body, maintaining his performance, and finding ways to positively influence the team without forcing outcomes. That's the challenge and the intrigue of watching a legend navigate the latter stages of an extraordinary career in real time. In recent games, there have been moments where his presence, or lack thereof, has been particularly noticeable. For instance, during high-pressure plays, there are times when LeBron seems almost passive, allowing others to make decisions while he observes rather than actively participates. It's subtle, but it speaks volumes. The floor leadership that once defined him seems muted, and while some might interpret that as fatigue or decline, it's also possible that he's consciously calibrating his energy, focusing on longevity and team cohesion rather than individual heroics. LeBron has always been strategic in his play, and part of what makes him a living legend is his ability to adapt, assess situations, and choose when to assert himself. This season, however, that calculation is more visible and more scrutinized than ever. The challenge is that when a superstar like LeBron steps back even slightly, it becomes a talking point because the contrast between expectation and reality is so stark. Another layer to consider is how this adjustment affects the Lakers as a team. Austin Reeves has emerged as a critical playmaker, stepping into situations where LeBron might have traditionally dominated. Younger players are carrying substantial responsibilities, which allows LeBron to pace himself but also shifts the spotlight away from him. For a player of his caliber, who has spent most of his career as the centerpiece, this can create friction, both internally and externally. It's a balance between supporting teammates and asserting leadership, and the perception of disengagement may simply reflect a deliberate choice to empower others. Yet, this calculated restraint can look like disinterest to those who are accustomed to seeing LeBron take charge. It's a delicate dance between contributing meaningfully and not forcing outcomes, especially when his body and legs aren't fully back in game shape. Defensively, there are similar patterns. LeBron's positioning and effort on certain plays have raised eyebrows, with commentators noting instances where he doesn't rotate as aggressively or chase the ball with the intensity fans expect. This isn't to say he's neglecting responsibilities entirely, but his movements are measured, possibly conserving energy for critical moments or managing ongoing physical strain. Observers have pointed out times when he appears to watch the play unfold rather than immediately respond, which is uncharacteristic but not necessarily indicative of a decline in skill or awareness. It's an adjustment phase, a period of recalibration after a disrupted preseason and an interrupted regular season schedule. Off the ball, LeBron's interactions with teammates have also shifted. Historically, he has been vocal, motivating, directing, and energizing the team on every possession. Now, there are stretches where his communication is less pronounced, where he doesn't rally players as actively or engage as visibly in huddles. That change is notable and has fueled speculation about his focus, motivation, and satisfaction with his current role. Yet, it's important to remember that leadership can manifest in different ways at this stage of his career. LeBron is no longer just a scorer. He is a mentor, a strategist, and a decision-maker who evaluates when to push, when to guide, and when to step back. The absence of overt energy doesn't automatically equate to disengagement. It may be a reflection of a more measured, thoughtful approach to leading a team with diverse talent. Of course, this raises the broader question of the Lakers' strategy moving forward. If LeBron continues to operate in this more subdued capacity, how does the franchise adapt? How do they balance his presence with the development of younger players? And what adjustments are necessary to maintain competitiveness in a league filled with rising stars and deep talent? These are not trivial questions. LeBron's contract and no-trade clause complicate potential roster maneuvers, but they also underscore the importance of maximizing his contributions in the context of team chemistry and long-term planning. Hypothetical scenarios, like leveraging trades to acquire younger elite talent, inevitably come into play in discussions among analysts and fans. While these ideas are speculative, they reflect the ongoing challenge of integrating a superstar who remains a physical and strategic force, but is adjusting to a new phase of his career. Another consideration is LeBron's mindset. He has the freedom this season to play without the pressure of chasing personal accolades, which could be liberating or disorienting. Without the incentive of achieving specific stat lines or MVP considerations, his motivation may be more intrinsic, focused on team success, managing his body, and setting a foundation for the rest of the season. This freedom can be a double-edged sword. It allows him to conserve energy and avoid unnecessary risks, but it also opens the door to moments where he appears less engaged or less urgent than fans are accustomed to. Understanding that nuance is key to appreciating what he brings to the team beyond the box score. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, in a move that has sent shockwaves through the NBA rumor mill, whispers are swirling that Giannis Antetokounmpo, the towering force of the Milwaukee Bucks, might be donning the purple and gold of the Los Angeles Lakers. While no official announcement has been made, sources close to the league suggest that talks have been quietly heating up behind closed doors, sparking speculation among fans and analysts alike. The idea of Giannis pairing with the Lakers' star-studded roster is enough to make any basketball enthusiast's heart race. Imagine the athleticism, the rim-rattling dunks, and the defensive dominance converging on the West Coast. The Lakers, long known for their big-name acquisitions and blockbuster trades, appear to be in pursuit of a seismic shift in their lineup, and Antetokounmpo's name keeps surfacing as the potential game-changer. Insiders hint that the Bucks front office is exploring options that could reshape their team dynamic, with some murmurs suggesting Giannis himself is intrigued by the challenge of leading a Lakers squad hungry for championship glory. Social media has erupted with speculation, memes, and heated debates, with fans dissecting every photo, interview, and subtle hint that could signal the impending move. While it remains firmly in the realm of speculation, the mere possibility of Giannis in a Lakers jersey has pundits analyzing everything from salary cap logistics to potential trade packages. Could this be the dawn of a new Lakers dynasty, or just another chapter in the endless cycle of NBA trade rumors? The excitement is palpable as rival teams brace for what could be one of the most talked about shifts in recent basketball history. One thing is certain, wherever Giannis lands, the league will be watching, buzzing with anticipation for the next twist in this unfolding saga. For now, fans are left to imagine the what-ifs and dream about the high-flying displays that a Giannis-Lakers union could deliver. In the world of the NBA, rumors have a way of turning into reality, and this one, more than most, has the potential to redefine the landscape of professional basketball as we know it. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.